All right, let's talk about Taiwan. And I mean really talk about it. This is a place that is just packed with surprises. We're going to go way beyond the headlines, from its absolutely legendary food scene to its wild, untamed heart. Get ready, because you're about to discover a side of this island you probably never even knew existed.
So picture this. You meet someone in Taiwan. What's the first thing they say? It's probably not hello. It's going to be, have you eaten? And that one little question, it tells you everything. It says this is a culture that is warm, that's welcoming, and yeah, completely and wonderfully obsessed with food.
So you know what? Let's take that as our invitation. Because if you really want to get to the heart of Taiwan, you have got to start with the food. There's no other way. And oh, what a world it is. The night markets, they're just legendary. We're talking an endless feast for the senses. You've got things like coffin cake, and trust me, it's better than it sounds. It's this thick, fried piece of toast, hollowed out and filled with chowder. Or, if you're feeling brave, you could sample the infamous stinky tofu. They've even got Aboriginal-style barbecued wild boar and, get this, fried bees. Yep, fried bees. And people swear they taste just like popcorn chicken. It is a full-on culinary adventure on literally every single corner. But, okay, it's not just about the wild street food. Here's a twist for you. Did you know that Taiwan has, Asia's best gourmet coffee culture? I mean, for real, this might be surprising, but they're not just drinking great coffee, they're actually growing it on plantations down in the south. It's this whole thriving scene that any coffee lover would just go crazy for. All right, so we've had a taste of the island. Now, let's dive into the pulse of its cities, because this is where things get really interesting. You've got this incredible head-on collision between ancient traditions and the super ultra-modern. And you see this contrast absolutely everywhere. I mean, one minute you could be standing in Longshan Temple around 5 p.m., just surrounded by this hypnotic ancient chanting from the worshippers, and then, blink, and you're lost in the complete, wonderful chaos of Wu Fin Pu, this gigantic clothing market. Or maybe you're exploring six floors of pure tech gadgets at Guanghua Digital Plaza. The shift is just wow. So you've got this constant back and forth, this dance between two completely different worlds. But what is it? What's the thread that actually ties it all together and makes it, make sense? Well, the answer is right there in the streets themselves. It's the history. Just look at a place like Zhangjian Hall. It was built back in 1936 for the Japanese Emperor Hirohito. But then, just 9 years later, it's the exact spot where the official Japanese surrender was signed. Think about that. These incredible layers of history, they're not locked away behind glass in a museum. They are a living, breathing part of the city. Okay, so let's shift gears. We're going to leave the buzzing energy of the city behind for a minute and explore a side of Taiwan that, honestly, a lot of people completely miss. We're talking about its wild, untamed, mountainous spine. You see, people in Taiwan have this really deep connection to nature, and it's led to some pretty unique ways of getting outdoors. One of the coolest is something called river tracing, and it's pretty much exactly what it sounds like. It's part hiking, part scrambling over rocks, and part swimming, all while you're following a river right up to its source. It is such an incredible, immersive way to experience the landscape. And hey, if you want to go even higher, Taiwan's mountains are just breathtaking. But here's the thing, you can't just show up with your hiking boots. Getting to the top takes some serious planning. You actually need to get a national park permit, and often a police permit too, and you have to apply way in advance. It just goes to show you how seriously they take protecting these incredible, pristine, high-altitude environments. And the sheer diversity of nature here, it's staggering. I mean, you can be completely mesmerized by the beautiful, colorful, twisting stone walls of Taraco Gorge, and then, a little while later, find yourself staring at the totally bizarre, boiling gray goo of the Wushendin mud volcanoes. The island's geology is a straight-up spectacle. But wait, there's more, because Taiwan isn't just one island. Nope, it's actually an archipelago, and each of its little outer islands is like a completely different world just waiting to be explored. And they each have such a distinct personality. You've got Kinmen, which used to be a heavily fortified military outpost and is now a peaceful national park. Then there's Penghu, a paradise for windsurfers that's also packed with ancient temples. Lanyu gives you this incredible deep dive into authentic Aboriginal culture. And Green Island, wow. It's gone from being a notorious political prison to an absolute playground for snorkelers and divers. So you hear all this, and you have to wonder, right? How did this one place become so, well, so multifaceted? To get that, we need to peel back the layers. We need to look at the deep, complex history that has shaped Taiwan's totally unique identity. Modern Taiwan was really forged in the fires of a pretty tumultuous 20th century. First, 50 years of Japanese rule ended in 1945. What followed was a really intense period of conflict and martial law. But this history of struggle, it's also an incredible story of resilience. It all leads up to 1996, when Taiwan held its very first direct presidential election. That was a truly pivotal moment on its path to becoming the vibrant democracy it is today. And this journey wasn't shaped by just one group. The culture today is this amazing blend. You've got Hokkien and Hakka peoples, the so-called mainlanders who arrived after 1945, and of course, the island's original inhabitants. There are 14 officially recognized Aboriginal tribes, and they really form the bedrock of Taiwanese heritage. So when you put it all together, you realize Taiwan isn't just one thing. It can't be. It's this incredible, complex mix of Aboriginal roots, Chinese heritage, a big dose of Japanese influence, and on top of it all, a fiercely protected democratic identity. All of these different layers have fused together to create a culture that is, well, it's truly unique in the world. So, yeah, it's a land of incredible contrasts, right? Chaotic markets and peaceful mountains, ancient rites and modern democratic ideals. At its heart, it's a place that's defined by its many, many layers. And I guess that leaves just one question for you. Which layer will you explore first?